Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy is back with yet another video, and tonight we are talking about No Way Out 2002. Yes guys, we are back in 2002, my favorite year ever. JK, I was in kindergarten, so kindergarten wasn't so bad. Anyways, as always, star ratings are in the description below if you want to check those out. And yeah, starting off the video, we're talking about gauntlet match. So the first time gauntlet matches were really I knew about gauntlet matches, but I never really saw them much from when I started watching wrestling. You'd see the odd one, like Daniel Bryan was involved in one in 2013, but the tag title ones were they became more prominent after that one on Raw where Seth Rollins beat both John Cena and Roman Reigns in the same match. But yeah, so here we have one on a pay-per-view. I'm not really aware of how many they did on pay-per-views, if this is very rare for the time period or not. I guess we'll see that going forward. I haven't seen a lot of these. That's all I'm trying to make. The only point I'm trying to make. Anyway, so yeah, Scotty Too Hotty and ATrain versus Christian and Lance Storm. So Christian, he hits the unprettier after Scotty Too Hotty does two Scotty Too Hotty and Grandmaster Sex. They both hit their. They kind of those where he does the jump around spot and then the worm, and then Christian, he hits the unprettier, so they get eliminated. Next come out the Hardys. The Hardys on fire. They were a house of fire in this match, baby. So they have a derby with Christian and Lance Storm there for a little bit till ultimately Jeff hits the Swanton Bomb and he picks up the victory. So yeah, they managed to eliminate both Christian and Lance Storm. Next up comes, who's up next? The Dudley Boyz. The Dudley Boyz came out. So there we go. We got our ENC, Hardy Boyz, and Dudley Boyz trifecta happening here once again on this pay-per-view. And yeah, so they come out again, the Hardy Boyz getting kind of beaten down. They're tired. They're worn out. But Matt manages to hit a twist of fate onto Bubba Ray, I want to say it was. And then, yeah, they managed to pick up another W there. But by this point, they're just completely gassed, completely worn out. I believe the Dudley Boyz beat them down after the match, too. So they're just easy pickings for when Billy&Chuck come out. They pretty much just dust them out of there. Next up, APA comes out. And again, this only goes for 3 minutes. I believe Bradshaw hits a clothesline from hell, gets his W. And yeah, it was good to see Ron Simmons, but yeah, you know what? I've never really got to watch much of Ron Simmons. I always wish I could watch more. I know he was more prominent in the WCW days, but yeah, it always feels like his matches, he's out there, he kind of just shows up, and he's there for about 5 minutes, and then he it's like an Easter egg appearance. It's kind of what it feels like for Ron Simmons. Anyways, APA going on a challenge for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 18. We will talk about that in the future. I wonder who wins. Next up is a match I was really looking forward to talking about, and this is Goldust versus Rob Van Dam. This was a very crisp match. If you're just there's always something, you go back and watch a match on old pay-per-views, and you go, wow, that was a solid match right there. That was a really good match. This is the match I'd be talking about, where it's a match where it doesn't really ever get talked about. It was just a really good match that happened to be on a show that it's not the big time matches, especially with what else was on this card. Yeah, so this here was a really crisp match. Really solid wrestling. Rob Van Dam and his offense and just the spin kicks and the old school style of Goldust just meshed really well in this match. And it just it was a fun match to watch. I love this match. Yeah, a lot of Goldust's offense just was targeted at Rob Van Dam's back, and yeah, just wearing on that the whole match. And yeah, this was again just a good match, and I'd recommend people, if they haven't seen this in a while, go back and watch this match. I'm not even gonna spoil who won or anything like that. I just think they should just go back and check out the match. So yeah, next up, here's where things they get kind of we're in the shorter stretch of things. So it's Booker T and Test versus Taz and Spike Dudley. This was a pretty short match. Taz wins with the Taz mission after Spike match is to hit the what did he call it? The Dudley, the Dudley dog. I think is what he called it. Yeah, he hits a Dudley dog. the oodly doodly. Yeah. So pretty short match, nothing really to say. So I guess the tag match at WrestleMania is Taz and Spike versus APA. Ooh man, that one's gonna be a Matt classic right there. I tell you that much. Edge versus William Regal. I preferred the Royal Rumble match a lot better than this. It had brass knucks on a pole. This was okay. It was anything like too major. It wasn't anything bad. It was just, again, undercard match on. Yeah, so they managed to get the brass knucks off the off the pole. This is just so Vince Russo. Anyways, and then like the brass knucks get like kicked out of the ring, and then William Regal pulls out another pair of brass knuckles out of his strap, hits Edge, and picks up the W. I thought that was pretty funny, is that he was like hiding brass knucks while there's brass knucks. It's William Regal, come on, buddy. We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. So yeah. That's just fun. It's like, yeah, he had him hidden that whole time, just in case. You gotta keep things even. Next up was a match I absolutely love, and this was by far the best match on the show. But on the show pretty easily. It's The Rock versus The Undertaker, a match about respect, that both guys were really, really coming in hard for the respect, and I see why people love this era of wrestling so much. Like, I understand watching a match like this and saying like, oh, I see why the people who like love the Attitude Era were absolutely, even though me and my friend were discussing, this might not even really been Attitude Era. Anyways, so I can see why people love this era so much and they were so rabid about it, because this was just, again, a great wrestling match. Like I said, match all about earning each other's respect. All because Maven eliminated Undertaker from the Rumble. They brawl all out over on the all out into the crowd. They brawl back into the ring. This was a solid match. I really liked this match. This was really good stuff. Oh man, so the Undertaker, he kind of beat down on The Rock for like a majority of this match, and once the match got back into the ring, Ric Flair comes out, gets involved. I think he hits Undertaker with a lead pipe, and then it leads to The Rock hitting a rock bottom, a people's elbow, and The Rock rides off into WrestleMania 18. I wonder who he faces there with the victory. So yes, this is easily my favorite match of the show. I really enjoyed this match. It was really good stuff. I know I say that, but yeah, this match, it was very good. So next up, this is kind of a weird match for me. I didn't like this match very much. I mean, it was good, not great. That's the best I'll say. It was just at best a good match. Triple H versus Kurt Angle, and Triple H's WrestleMania shot was on the line in this match. So yeah, there was a ton of stakes in this. Stephanie McMahon, who Triple H kind of screwed over, Stephanie was trying to screw over Triple H, and then she sides with Kurt Angle, and yeah, she's the special guest referee in this match. Early on in the match, she gets taken out, and she's out of the match for just a majority of this match, so then Triple H can finally just focus on facing Kurt Angle. Kurt, he really just controlled this with like a sleeper, and tell Triple H he just hits his patented comeback with the knee, the face buster, spine buster. You know the drill. It's the Triple H comeback. So yeah, and then finally Triple H. Oh no, what is it? Kurt Angle. So she comes back to the ring, and then Kurt Angle gets back in the ring, and there's a chair in the ring, and Kurt Angle blasts the shit out of Triple H with the steel chair. And yeah, surprisingly, he gets the win in this. And I was like, wait, so how does Triple H get back to the road of WrestleMania? And I haven't actually seen that. So, well, I'll be watching Raws from 2002 to see where this goes, man. Like, I'm 23 years too late for this, but I gotta know. I gotta get the answers. So let's see how Triple H ends up in the main event of WrestleMania 18, because we all know he finds his way in there. And does he win against Chris Jericho? Wait, hold up. Chris Jericho. Yeah, Chris Jericho was main eventing this show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this was, again, like what I said about the Triple H and Austin match, this match here, it was just kind of like a good match. I think Stone Cold's had better matches on Raws. And So if I'm not mistaken, this is actually Steve Austin's last WWE main event of a pay-per-view till WrestleMania 38. 20 years later. Yeah. That's actually kind of insane to like think about that. So this match here, it was again a good match. It was just a lot of like physicality, a lot of chops, a lot of kicks, a lot of punches, a lot of bouncing off the ropes, a lot of Irish whips. And normally I'm like a huge fan of that. It just felt here like there was just not that level of intensity or aggression, and maybe it was just kind of Chris Jericho having that mid-title reign. A lot of people have talked about this being a mid-title reign, and I kind of see why. Like, there was nothing really to me that was lighting the world on fire about this title reign, and that's kind of my takeaway from this. It's like, yeah, he definitely wasn't coming off like world champion at the time, and it's not really 100% his fault, but it was, yeah, it's what it was. And so, yeah, the NWO end up coming out in this match, a match with interference happening in the WWE. No freaking way. The NWO come out because they came out earlier in the show. They're like rubbing shoulders with everyone, saying, we ain't the bad guys here, no way out, NWO. That's what this whole thing was kind of built on, was seeing those guys, Hogan back in the WWE, Nash back in the WWE, and Razor Ramon back in the WWE, or Scott Hall. So it was really, really, yeah. So then they come out, they screw Stone Cold out of his title win, and yeah, that's kind of the show. Not a whole lot, like, super, super exciting happened on the show. I would actually go as far as to say the show was just kind of, there was some really good wrestling on the show. Like, it's not a bad show to watch if you're, like, just looking for, like, some good derbies, and just, like, it's not bad in any regard. It's just not great in any regard. It's definitely, like, at best, middle of the road. Nothing great. It doesn't, like, for example, it's like Elimination Chamber 2025 would be like a show people talk about in the future, or Money in the Bank 2011. That's an all-time wrestling show. This would just kind of be like maybe memorable because the NWO made their appearance, but again, there was most of the matches probably to most people that aren't even that memorable, even though there were some really good matches on the show. But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the show if you guys watched it. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Let's do this, guys.